So in MySQL, we will learn all the database concept, the structured query language, introduction to database concept, its need, why it is needed, database management system, relational data models. What I will do is, I have created here a chart. So like this, we will study step by step what is database concept. Then in this, what is the need of database, that we will learn. Then all the relational data models, that is what is attribute, what is domain, what is tuple, what is relation, all the different 4 type of keys we will learn here: candidate key, primary key, alternate key, foreign key. Then SQL, in which data definition language, DDL, DML, DQL, data query language, and TCL and DCL is not in detail, only what is TCL and what is DCL, that much we will do it. And in detail we will do DDL and DML and DQL. DQL, that is select query, you will get, I think, 10 to 15 marks you will get. Total 30 marks questions are there. So this we will do one by one, and then we are having all the mathematical function operators here, arithmetic operators, logical operators, relational operators. Then null values, is null, we will use here. Data types, you can see here: char, varchar, int, float, date. There are many more data types. I will show you the chart, but only this is your syllabus given by CBSE. So one by one we will do it, and the question papers also I have saved it here. You can see the question paper. So these are the CBSE question papers, so in which you can see what type of questions are asked. Like a table is given here, they will ask you what is the degree of this table, what is the cardinality of this table. Degree, already you know how many columns are there, 3. So degree you will write 3. Cardinality, in this table cardinality is also 3, 1, 2, 3. Second table, degree is 2, 2 columns are there, cardinality is 3. Third table, degree is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns are there, 5, and cardinality will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This first one, field names, you will not take in cardinality, you will not count. Cardinality is the total number of tuples in a relation, total number of rows. So these type of questions will be asked in board exam. Second is all the select queries and all the SQL queries. So you can see here 2 table join is there. So 2 tables are given to you, but after reading the question you have to decide whether you have to join the 2 table or you have to write the query on 1 table. Now display is select query. Wherever display show is there, you will use the select query, and wherever increase, update, modify, there you will use update command. So here you can see all are select query. Queries you have to write and outputs you have to write. So this pattern I wanted to show you, that this is your MySQL, and in term 2 you are having computer networking. So that also the question papers I will share. I will just copy paste it at one place, and these are the questions of networking. Okay, so today we will start with MySQL, and this is your question paper of networking. So old papers, 5 years, 10 years, you can go through. The last section C you can see here. Last section C, the last question is of networking, that is question number 7, and question number 5 is of MySQL. So you can see all the board questions and you can start preparing. Now we will start with your book. In your book already database concept we have done. So you can just revise it once. What is database concept? What is file? Why we are learning this chapter? That is to remove data redundancy, data inconsistency. Now all these terms you should be familiar. What is data redundancy? What is data inconsistency? Data redundancy means the repetition of data you have to remove, and inconsistency means the wrong information. Suppose today the rate of petrol has increased and you have to show in all the petrol pumps the same rate. It is not that all are having the different rate structure. So inconsistent data is the wrong information, wrong data. So that to remove this, all the computers, like client server architecture is there. In server, if you change the data, all the clients will have the latest information as they are connected to the server. So that PPT I will share where all these informations are given. We have already done it, so I am not going in detail. Now, while creating a table, we will use the database constraint. Now, this is asked, what is database constraint? Are the restrictions on the type of data that can be inserted into the table, like all the checks. Suppose your class is from 1 to 12 and you want to enter the class as 13 or 14, it will not allow the user to enter 13, 14. That is wrong information, it will restrict. So that is your constraints. Now all the constraints, when we will do the constraint topic, unique, not null, primary key, all the constraints we will do it. Since we have done this, I am just revising it in detail. What all things you have to do is, we will start making the notes of difference between candidate key, primary key, then foreign key, alternate key. So all the differences you have to write, try to write 2 to 4 differences. And so this we will start with, what are the 4 types of keys, then all the new terms, tuple, attribute, cardinality and degree. So these we will do it. So from here only I can explain, from this NCERT book only I will start explaining you. First portion, what is database? Concept that I have already explained. So database, why we are learning it? Because huge bulk of data you can manage using database, and you can just see here how to connect the different tables. Using the foreign key, we will connect the different tables. Related data are stored in the table, and it is called relation because it contains related data. So till here we have done. Yes, now the new terms of RDBMS, this we will start with. This is asked in exam. What is attribute, what is tuple, what is domain, what is degree, what is cardinality. Now, attribute is the characteristics or parameters for which data are to be stored in a relation. Simply stated, the columns of a relation are the attributes, which are also referred as fields. For example, GUID, GNAME, GPhone. So, all the columns are called attributes. Tuple are all the rows. Each row of data in a relation table is called a tuple. In a table with n columns, a tuple in a relation between the n related values. So here you can see the rows of the relation is called tuple. It is also called the records of a table. Next, domain is a set of values from which an attribute can take a value in each row. Usually a data type is used to specify domain for an attribute. For example, in student relation, the attribute roll number takes integer values, and hence its domain is a set of integer values. Similarly, the set of character strings constitutes the domain of the attribute sname. So, like you were designing your project, that time you took the domain, suppose student domain you have taken. So, there all the related student related data's informations you were keeping, and you were saving in that data type, and all those things you were selecting. So, that is a domain. Next, degree is the total number of attributes or columns in a relation. Number of attributes in a relation is called the degree. So, this is asked, a table will be given to you and it will be asked what is the degree and what is the cardinality. Cardinality is the number of tuples in a relation, is called cardinality of the relation. So, this you have to be careful, because at cardinality normally the students count the field names also, and it is wrong. Only the records you have to count. 3 important properties of a relation. In relational data model, following 3 properties are observed with respect to a relation, which makes a relation different from a data file or simply table. These already you have done, all are related to each other. Now, keys, in short I will tell you what are the keys. 4 type of keys we will do. Primary key is the non-key attribute which contains unique and not null values and uniquely searches a tuple in a relation. Whenever you want to access any like form you are filling, so college number or your CBSE board roll numbers are unique and not null values. So it is the primary key of your CBSE table. Same way your class table is having your roll numbers, your school table is having your admission number which is unique. Your admission number is unique and not null in your school. When you are filling for reservation of a suppose flight or a railway ticket, that time you are mentioning the train number. Google search we are doing, we are entering the train number and it is showing us the running status and all the data related to that particular train. So primary key is uniquely searches tuples in a relation. Candidate key are the candidate to become primary key that can serve as primary key because it contains unique and not null values. So a relation can have one or more attributes that takes distinct values. Any of these attributes can be used to uniquely identify the tuples in a relation. They will give you one table and they will ask you which are the candidate keys. You see, suppose your names are also unique in your class. Suppose a student table they have given you and they are asking you which is the candidate keys. So your roll number, if your names are unique, with that also you can search. So your name column. Now normally suppose no sibling is there in the class, same class. That time suppose all the father's name, mother's name, all are different. So all can be candidate to become primary key. So all are candidate keys. Then primary key will be, normally we are selecting out of these roll numbers or admission number as the primary key. In a table, normally the first one we are keeping as primary key, 99.9%. And if you want to change it, you can change also. Composite primary key, if no single attribute in a relation is able to uniquely distinguish the tuple, then more than one attribute are taken together as primary key. Such primary key consisting of more than one attribute is called composite primary key. In relation attendance, roll number cannot be used as primary key as roll number of some same students will appear in another row for different date. Similarly, in relation attendance date cannot be used as primary key because same date is repeated for each roll number. However, combination of these two attributes, roll number and attendance date together, would always have unique value in attendance table, as on any working day of a student would be marked attendance only once. Hence, roll number come attendance date will make the attendance related composite primary key. Normally, we are using only one column as primary key, like your admission number, your roll number. But you might have seen that when the UBI numbers are given, in that your admission number is also there, your class roll number is also there. Clear? So, suppose CBSE is giving you setting some rules for the roll numbers. So, there in your roll number you will find your school code is also hidden in that. So, composite you can make the primary key, including your school number, your class roll numbers. We can make a new key, new column which consists of 2 or 3 datas and it is unique. Then it becomes unique. Like your school code, suppose it is 13101, your school CBSE school code. Now this is same for all, so that I cannot make, but your class roll number of computer science is different, but IP will be same because they are from 3 different sections. So their roll number also I cannot make as primary key. So what I have to do, I have to mention their class also and then their roll number. Suppose all 3 roll numbers, one of bio, one of commerce, one of humanities have taken IP. So what I will do is, I will mention their section, like 11th A, 12th A, 12th C, 12th D. I will mention that and make a unique So composite, I can take the data from 2 or 3 columns and make my own composite primary key. Foreign key is used to join the 2 tables or relate the 2 relations. Relations means the table containing related data, in which the foreign key is always the primary key of the second table of the another relation. Now, some new terms you might be listening here, like relation is a table actually which contains related data. So, rows and columns are there. But here I am, instead of using the term table, that joining the 2 table, foreign key is used to join the 2 table, what I am using? Relationship between 2 relations. So, instead of table, I will use the word relation here. And is an attribute I am using. Instead of column, I am using attribute. So, foreign key is an attribute whose value is derived from the primary key of another relation. This means that any attribute of a relation referencing which is used to refer contents from another referenced relation becomes foreign key if it refers to the primary key of referenced relation. The referencing relation is called foreign relation. In some cases, foreign key can take null values if it is not the part of primary key of the foreign table. Clear? One difference will be asked. What is the difference between foreign key and primary key? Primary key contains unique and not null values, whereas foreign key of the main table, primary table, can contain repeated values and null values. So, this is the main difference. Foreign key is used to join the 2 table, whereas primary key is used to search the tuples in a relation. The relation in which the reference primary key is defined is called primary relation or master relation. Now, here you can see 2 tables. They have used a roll number and guardian ID. So, here in student table, guardian ID is the foreign key, roll number is the primary key. In guardian table, guardian ID is the primary key. So, when you are joining the 2 table, you have already studied here that GUID is used to join the 2 table, where it should be the primary key of the second table. So, here it is correct, primary key of the related table, guardian. Now, next one is, you can see using the roll number I am joining, but roll number is the primary key of student table. So, it is the foreign key of attendance table. Clear? You will be asked, you will be given 3 tables and you will be asked, like in student table, which is the primary key and which is the foreign key. Now, if you are joining with guardian table, then foreign key is GUID and primary key is roll number. But if you are asked to join with attendance table, then your roll number is used to join the 2 table, as well as roll number is the primary key. So, here when you are asked with attendance table, then roll number is the primary key and roll number is the foreign key also. So, these are the 4 types of keys. I will give you the notes afterwards. Now, I think this is over. Now, we will start with the queries. So, you can start with the queries. Any domain you can take and you can start with it. So, first command, DDL commands will be create, alter and drop. DML commands will be your insert, update and delete, and data query language will be your select. Select you can mention as data manipulation language, DML command also. But since CBC has given in that data query language select, so we will write data query language as select query. So, I will start with show databases. Show databases. Now, here you can see these many databases are already present in this computer. So, I cannot create these databases which are already there. Suppose bank is already there, school is already there. So, I will take a different domain today to explain you. So, I can take hospital where doctor's detail or the patient or the treatment packages are there, or the airport I can take where the flight details. So, I will create a database airport here, create database, airport. If anybody has taken airport as domain, you have to create it and then you have to connect it with Python. Connectivity you will learn. So you can see what is the output. Query okay, one row affected means it has created the database. How to see it? Show databases. When you will give, then it will show all the databases. So now it will show the airport also. You can see airport, which was not there previously. Previously only activity bank. So no airport was there. Now it is showing activity airport bank. So it is created. Now if you give create table, it will show error because you till now you haven't changed the database. So now I am changing. So in exam you will be asked how to change the database, how to access the database. Using use database name we are changing or we are accessing the database. So here use airport database changed. Now we will create the table here. You can show the tables. No table will be there. It is showing empty. I will show it because till now I haven't created anything. So empty set it is showing. Now I will create a table here. Flight details, flights. Yes. Now in this, the column names, if it is given flight number, FNO is integer, and then it can be a primary key with which you can search. Then F name, flight name can be a char or varchar. Size you can mention here, and then the fare, source destination fare also is I am giving here integer. So this I have created a short table. You can see query okay, 0 rows affected. So it is empty. How to see? Select star from table name. It will show it is empty. Star from flights. It will show empty set. It is not having any data till now. Now we will enter the data using insert into the table name is flights. In this, how to insert the values? If all the columns you want to insert, then I am not mentioning here in bracket the column names. Directly I am writing the values. But in selected columns, if you are asked, then after flights in bracket, you have to mention which columns you will enter the data. So here flight number is 101, flight name is or flight number is 202 and flight name is suppose Air India. And fare is 9,000 rupees. So this has been created. Now if you want to see, it is showing here the table with one data. Now if you want to enter more data, what you have to do? You have to go in insert command and then suppose SpiceJet or Indigo is the next flight whose number is 20 or 21, 222. Now when you will press enter, it has inserted, it is showing query okay, one row inserted. Using select, you can see Indigo also it is showing. Like this you have to create, insert all the values. Now using Python, if you insert it, then it becomes very easy because in Python directly for loop you can use and you can insert all the values which user wants to enter. Yes, now suppose SpiceJet and the number is suppose 402, enter, you can select and you can see. So all three records you can see now of flight table. So like this you will design your projects also. In your project which all tables are there in the database you will create it. Now at the end we will learn how to connect Python with this and how to modify and enter, check all the data. Now I will use the select queries. Select I have used to display all the record But if you want to display only the selected, so using where clause, I can select it. So what I will do is, I will use a where clause and condition is given. Suppose the flight of Indigo, I want to display the details. So select star from flights where flight name is Indigo equals to Indigo. Semicolon. Now it will show only Indigo. Clear? So this all select queries we will do one by one. So question papers, you have already seen what type of questions are asked, what is your syllabus. This syllabus also you have seen how to prepare it. Now one by one you start with it, solve all the unsolved questions at the back of your book. NCERT book I am going to share. This is your NCERT book. This is your MySQL. So you just start in your mobile, you install from Play Store. I will share it. Compiler, you install it, open it, and in that you will see all Python, MySQL, all the options are there. You select MySQL and then you can start with your work. So you can practice in your Android mobile also, or if you are having laptop, desktop, in that you can install MySQL and you can start your work. Clear? Any doubt till here?